6 p.m. It's time to call an order to the meeting. First, I just want to make sure we have enough people here to determine a quorum. So first, myself, Aaron, present.
Scott Finley, present.
We have Teresa Aquila, absent, Roger Edwards, absent, Crystal Ayers, absent, and Shayla Herring, absent, but we do have a quorum.
We have a quorum. At this time, I'd like to have someone say its pledge of allegiance. Would you do the honors? Scott?
Right behind you.
Will you do the honors?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now we're going to approve the minutes from the last meeting. I was not here for it.
They're right in front of you.
So you approve, Scott?
Yeah, I approve it.
And Susan?
Yes.
Okay, you got to. And at this time, we have general public comment. Is there anyone here that I would like to come up and share?
Yes.
Do I need the mic? I'm pretty loud.
Your choice.
Can y'all hear me? Okay. Is there any
Shayla's here online. Shayla's here online. I was just.
Oh, I can do that. I've got. Okay. I'd like to thank the Citizens Advisory Board for being here and hearing from us who live in the same valleys as you guys. My name is Joanne Hill, and I am a third-generation Reno resident, and we have lived in Horizon Hills neighborhood since November of 1979. We have been seeing astronomical growth in our North Hills and North Valleys. We are asking for a no vote on further zoning changes from housing to commercial. We are extremely concerned with notice of proposed zoning changes in the Peavine foothills. These changes will consume valuable housing for zone properties. The undesirable zone changes propose warehouses on the northwest side of Horizon Hills. Conversely, the land for sale on the southeast or east side of our subdivision is currently zoned for housing and is being looked at by warehouse developers as well. These changes for shadow boxing in Horizon Hills subdivision. As I write this letter, I hear backup beeps and air brakes from the existing opening warehouses on North Virginia. We've had to install blackout blinds to block the light pollution, as well as keeping our windows closed. This subdivision is one of the few trailheads to forest land and ponds on Peavine Mountain. The current proposed changes will include wetland below the county water tanks. The Corps of Engineers has not been notified of the plans of this developer. Our neighbors have seen and photographed deer, elk, mountain lions, raccoons, bobcats, huge array of raptors, too many to list, that live within our neighborhood and the mountains. It is crucial to vote no on any zone changes that require significant unnecessary changes, as Truckee Meadows has 33 million square feet of empty warehouses. Consequently, the rich and famous get to write off more tax money. Second, some of this money is used to give council people up to $10,000 per donor and do it legally. It is public information. It is absurd to think that logic and science has flown out the door. Are you letting me know when 3 minutes is over?
Yes, I've got it on here.
I'll leave the rest later if I have to. Number one, infrastructure has not been investigated for ability to serve further sewage, electric, or water availability to any new areas above the railroad tracks in the North Valley. Light pollution, we are no longer able to enjoy the Milky Way, glare from the current warehouse buildings during the daylight hours is intense, as is the heat generated by extensive areas of asphalt and concrete. Furthermore, the use of lights at night are outdated and need to be addressed and changed. Noise pollution, warehouses below us are beeping, letting the air brakes do what they do, sounds of material banging when being tossed and moved around, not a quiet environment for a mountain. Air pollution from diesel trucks and employee cars create more toxin. Additionally, extreme heat from too much asphalt and concrete. As it's
Your time's up.
Uterize. Okay, thank you.
And if you would like me to scan that in, that way it will be part of the minutes.
You bet.
And that way you don't have to finish reading all the rest of it unless you want to.
I'll go next. Is that okay? Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Don Anhold. I live in Horizon Hills subdivision off of North Virginia Street and Seneca Drive. There is a proposed development for a business park to the west of Horizon Hills on 80+ acres of land, plus the land next to it. They want to develop a road to the Peavine Road. I'm opposed to this development. They want to build a business park with 8 buildings, and I just feel it's not compatible to the area. It's above the railroad tracks and below the water tanks west of Horizon Hills. And there's a spring, wetlands that will be altered. Increased traffic will happen on North Virginia Street. And currently it's zoned for large lot residential, and the developer wants to change it to industrial and to a special district to allow the business park. Anyway, I'm opposed to this development, and I thank you for letting me speak. You have a motion? No.
Good evening, CAB members. My name's Pat Davison for the record. Just wanted to give kudos, job well done to Sally. I thought the minutes for the May meeting were incredibly thorough. That takes a lot of work and attention to detail. So good job, Sally. And also, if you notice on the agenda this month, there's a QR code. So I want to thank you for all your efforts to help the CAB. That's it.
Anyone else? Nothing.
Hi there, my name is Christian Hughes. I've been a 40+ year resident of Horizon Hills. I've been witness to many mistakes and misrepresentations made over the years in development of Washoe County. Example, 1986 and 97, massive 100-year flood, ravaged Reno and Sparks. 86, I worked in a building on North Edison Way. I helped the business owner well into the night move equipment and customer vehicles to protect from damage. At that time, I noticed how the buildings affected the flood waters. In 97, I went with a telecommunications worker and friend to the top of Pindy Peak during another 100-year storm. When I looked down into the Truckee Meadows, the scope of devastation was eye-opening. A large part of the east side of the Truckee Meadows was underwater. Today, those buildings where I worked in 86 are gone, removed as part of the flood mitigation or part of the water mitigation effort for flooding. I think those buildings probably should have been removed after 86 flood or never built at all. Looking back at 2017, when Swan Lake and Silver Lake filled up and flooded, if you look at a dry lake bed and think, it probably will never have water in again, you probably are foolish. The expert comes in and lays out a plan for a 100-year flood. based on weather patterns and records kept since the beginning of record keeping, the experts have obviously failed in respect as they do not account for future weather patterns. Now, I just have to look at the end of my street to know that water and flood mitigation here is a half-hearted effort. There is a ditch that drains a major portion of Horizon Hills that has been cut off by the construction of new warehouses that sit empty at the end of our street, Seneca Drive. Already, water has backed up and flooded over Seneca Drive during last year's mild winter. Probably unknown to the planning commission, there are a number of holding ponds above the railroad tracks as well as below the railroad tracks. And developer of Peavine Peak Trails will stop that water flow and direct it into a man-made pond, which will likely fail and cause flash flooding during another large weather event. I'd like to say it's no secret that Reno is the fastest growing city in the US. Building large warehouses and parking lots are not going to help flooding or warming. I come here tonight to voice my rejection of Seneca Hills Business Park, AKA Peavine Peak Trails Business Park.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, with that said, we're gonna go on to public safety updates. I see we have, it looks like, do we have the Chuck Mills Fire Department here? You wanna start?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, can everybody hear me okay? Awesome. For the record, my name is Ryan Whitlock, I'm Battalion Chief with Truckee Meadows Fire. Give you a quick little rundown on the calls for service that we've given you guys for the last month in May. Total call volume has been 227 with 5 being fires, 105 being EMS calls, and 8 being MVA motor vehicle accidents. The rest of the calls were public assist, good intent, now equal around 109. So as you can see, averaging out from January to May, we've roughly have an average of 196 calls of service a month. Last year to date, just to give you a perspective, we're at 208 to date. So we're a little under, but that's good. That means people are being a little safer than they were last year. So we're on a good run. As y'all know, burning season, or if you don't know, burning season's closed right now. So no burning. If you're having a burning pit, there's strict regulations around that as well. Cooking fires, so make sure you have a lid on that if you are doing any kind of open burn in your yard. We're in wildland season. It came early and it's coming fast. So Truckee Meadows has responded to a number of wildland calls already. We had a 3-acre fire just around the corner. We've had something in this district still to be determined. We've had a couple in off of Pyramid Lake Highway. So it's happening, it's ramping up. So just be careful. They're happening from recreation fires, people shooting down south in Washoe Valley area, and then people on UTVs, and just be kind of careful. So when you recreate, we just ask please be safe and be careful out there. They report them often. With that being said, excuse me, safety is a big thing for us. Obviously, hydrate. The heat came in pretty quick in northern Nevada. True fashion, the light switched, and now we're at 100-degree weather overnight, and I'm already missing the 50-degree. So other than that, we have a special announcement. We just hired a new fire chief. He'll be starting July 1, and we hope new things to come. And yeah, that's my report.
Thank you.
We have a rep from the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. No, I do see we got animal control. Take a moment.
They're actually doing the presentation.
Oh, is there a presentation? Okay. Well, put it on that one.
That's it.
My name is Tammy Jennings, I'm Assistant Director for Washoe County Animal Services and Daughter of Street Field Manager. And just kind of to piggyback off of Truckee Meadows Fire, I would like to announce that we have recently partnered with Truckee Meadows Fire, and we now have microchip scanning stations for all your animals at all of the Truckee Meadows Fire stations. So that is a huge help if you have an animal a stray animal that you find, you can take it to any one of the fire stations, get it scanned, and then help us to get everybody their animals back. So we really appreciate all the.
And they've been working with people, actually bringing the dogs to work.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
The volunteer stations. Not the volunteer stations, just we have one out here at the station here in, Cold Springs, but then all 19 other locations there. Well.
All of yours.
Yeah. Yes, they're on our website, there's a map to every one of them on our website too, so we have them at all the Truck Meadows fire stations and all the pet stations. Pet stores in town as well, so if you ever need them, they're there, so, to start with our presentation, we were asked to kind of give you guys an update on what we're doing, when it comes to animal services out here in the North Valleys. So to start with, I would like to talk about the amount of dogs that we estimate are actually out here in the North Valleys. And when we talk North Valleys, we're looking at, the zip codes 89506, 89508, that's kind of where we're focusing this on. So we're estimating that there's approximately 30,532 dogs out here in the North Valleys. Of those dogs, only 5,571 of them are licensed with Washoe County Animal Services, so that's only the 18% licensing rate, in which we would really like to get up. So average around Washoe County is just about 30%. So we really would like to get licensing up out here. It helps to return animals to their owners when their information is current with us. It helps our officers greatly with all that kind of stuff too. So. See if we can go a couple slides forward. Can we go to a couple slides in? Just trying to get it.
Second, slide.
There we go.
All right, next one. One more. So there's the numbers for the amount of animals you guys have out here in the North Valleys and our licensing rates right now. Next slide. So what we've done here is put together some statistics the last 3 years. So we've got 2020 through 2024 calendar years here. So the top darker blue are all the calls for service received for our agency. So if you look at the last one in 2024, we received 22,635 calls for service in the year 2024. 4,201 were in the North Valley specific. So it's about a 15% call rate out here in the North Valleys, and it stays pretty consistent over the last 3 years. So about 15% of our calls are all out here in the North Valleys. Next slide. So this right here is a little bit of a heat map. So if you can see that the yellow and the dark red, that's the stead area. That's kind of our highest call volumes right in there. And then the red up in the Cold Springs area. Those reds and yellow spots are our highest call volumes. All right, next one. So out of all the stray animals that we were not reunited in 2024, we were able to reunite 18% of the animals that went stray out here, which is a really good return rate. Our average return rate currently in all of Washoe County for dogs, just dogs, is around 60%. Our return rate for cats is about 9%, which is some of the highest return rates in the entire country. We really pride ourselves on everything we do to be able to return our animals to you. Next slide. So this next one is all the animals that have a microchip that we can check when we pick them up and on intake. So out of all the ones we were able to check, 15% of the animals, so 458 that were out here in the North Valleys, actually had microchips to assist us in getting them back to their owners. The key to the microchips is having your information up to date. If it's not up to date, then we can't find you. So if nothing else, at least your phone number or an email address, even something as simple as that will help us get the animal back to you. Next one. So this is our welfare calls
for the last 3 years. In 2024, we responded to a total of almost 3,000 welfare calls. 448 of them, or 13% of those calls, were specifically out here in the North Valleys. Next slide. Let's see.
Hot car.
Yes, thank you. So these calls are the ones, when they start dealing with the fires, we start dealing with the hot car calls. So these are where people have left their animals in their car and we get called. In 2024, we responded to 526 of those calls. 37 of them specifically were in the North Valleys. And this is probably the best, the Walmart, Smith's,
Shopping
center, yeah, right in that area, or we're in the North Valleys where we get the majority of those calls. All right, next one. And so next one, bike reports. 12% of the bike reports we received were out here in the North Valleys. And that stays fairly consistent throughout the last 3 years as well. And next slide, noise complaints. So about 16, 17% of the noise complaints we received were also from the North Valley. So you guys stay pretty consistent about the 15 through 17% and almost all the calls we get. So, and then the last slide. So I'm gonna let Robert talk about this one. These are the citations and NCPs, or notices of civil penalties, that we've given out. So the bottom numbers, once again, are specifically in the North Valleys, and on the bottom, I'll let you talk about each one of them as a different citation.
So we issue citations, or we can issue civil penalties. Civil penalty is in lieu of the citation, so rather than getting a permit site, you can get essentially the park and get that's a still enforcement, but it's a lesser money there. The most common fine is for not having your dog license. We do as a policy, if your dog's not licensed, you can fix a ticket every single time that we interact with you. Your dog's not licensed. Those go away, so we delete those as soon as your dog is licensed. Next is, and its highest percentage is for dogs at large. 25.5% of our stray dogs in the county were all from the valleys. Next is unrestrained animals. Unrestrained is a little bit different than at large. At large, the dog is running around. And unrestrained would be somebody walking the dog off leash or without an animal on the regular. It doesn't secure the property. Next is noise violations. 19% of our noise complaints, citations, and some penalties come from the valleys. And is failing to quarantine the animal. So we do 16% of our NCPs or citations for people who fail to be quarantined and acquired in somebody's valleys. Endangering is next. Only 9.7% of people of our citations or NCPs for endangering occurred in North Valleys. Endangering is essentially a lesser version of the animal. So you left an animal in your backyard without appropriate water or shelter. Our officers can set you for endangering versus the animal cruelty if the animal is necessarily injured. Followed by 14% of the fines for having too many animals. So a variance permit is required if you have more than 5 dogs or 7 cats. Next would be for animal cruelty. So 18% of the citations, we only do citations for animal cruelty. If you're charged for animal cruelty, you become civil fines. Those are all those reports. So 18.6% of our animal cruelty citations from the North Valleys. 22% of our dangerous dog or vicious dog determinations all occurred in the North Valleys. And the final violation is county animal cruelty. The prior one was state animal cruelty, which is has a heavier penalty. If our officers have they can choose if they want to charge you for state or county animal cruelty. So county animal cruelty is only 20% up in the North Valleys. That is a lesser charge when we do the county one. There's no jail time required. The state there is. Those are the 10 most common citations and civil penalties that we issue. Here are the values.
Do you guys have any questions or anything for us?
This is a little different question.
State your name, please.
Oh, sorry, Pat Davidson for the record. The front page of the Reno Gazette Journal yesterday, do you need to hold the microphone? Front page of the Reno Gazette Journal yesterday had the story about wolves in Sierra and Washoe County, you know, just a stone's throw away from us. It's just a matter of time until they're in Washoe County. I heard anecdotally that wolves have been sitting down Lockwood going after antelope and deer. I'm wondering if County Animal Services has been talking to NDOW. Do you have any strategy in place? Do you know what you're gonna do if there's sighting in Washoe County?
That is strictly NDOW's jurisdiction. We have absolutely no jurisdiction under that. We will assist if needed, if it's an active, public safety issue. Other than that, we have to, legally refer everything to NDOW.
So just people is, rental neighborhoods. North Valley is part of all those descriptions, $100.
No, so Rancho Haven,
License
yes,
required.
there's no licensing required, there's no variance permit required, Rancho Haven's all adjusted. So there's no leash requirements, no limits of animals, and yeah, and that's anywhere that's not adjusted in the county. There's small pockets of rules and also that are adjusted, the very back corner, there's still, a couple lots that are unadjusted. $500. You're still with it.
Please don't.
I'm
Let's
so
stop
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a question, Scott Finley for the record. What qualifies a dangerous or vicious dog? Have you guys noticed any like statistics? I guess with them being microchip versus not.
I haven't noticed anything for microchips, that's not something that I've really looked into as far as like a stat to see if there's a correlation to it. We have so many microchip animals in the county, which is why our redemption rates are so high. So a lot of our dangerous dogs are microchipped. And once an animal is declared dangerous or vicious, they're required to be microchipped as well. So even if they're not microchipped, once they're declared, they have to be microchipped. So there's a lot that goes into it. There's dangerous, a dog can be declared dangerous if it kills a domestic animal. It can be declared vicious if it kills the domestic animal. That's determined by the hearing officer. If they cause substantial bodily harm to a human, they can be declared vicious. If they are aggressive and they cause a person to take a defensive stance, so if a dog is loose, you have to take a defensive stance to protect yourself twice. And I think it's a 6-month period, might be 18-month period. They can be declared dangerous. A single incident of a bite to a human that causes substantial bodily harm. So you get maybe stitches, that's enough to have the dog declared dangerous. There's a lot of different provisions, and as to where they fall, they're dangerous or vicious is covered by the hearing officers who will regulate those hearings.
Yeah, so ultimately, that is not our decision as far as the declaration. We submit everything to the hearing office, and they're the ones that go through all that. And then we enforce it afterwards.
Anyone else? I have a question. I want to address the quarantine. I was thinking that an animal after biting someone and this came out in our last meeting that you would quarantine the animal, but now the owner.
It depends. So if your animal is current on its rabies vaccination, and there haven't been any violations of your dog being at large or loose in the last 6 months, we allow them quarantine if we approve the location to be secured.
And then do you follow up, make sure they are quarantined?
Yes, so at the end of the quarantine, we go out to verify, or they actually require them to be home to us, but if they don't, then we go to their property. If somebody reports an animal in quarantine, it's not being quarantined, so if the dog is loose in the yard, it's being walked in the hall, we'll go out and see the animal that way, then I would not call.
Okay, one more question. These dangerous dogs, we were talking about a hearing, this goes to an administrative hearing,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
And the administration is the animal.
Yep.
Right? Who is that?
So the manager, county manager's office oversees the hearings, and they have hearing officers who.
So there's no judge.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
a
hearing.
constitutional nut, and I just want to
Yeah.
ask this question.
Yeah, it's,
Because administrative hearings are actually. So they would be the ones side the options
correct.
and the punishment.
Well, the punishment is
Or
either
they go
they're
before.
declared dangerous, declared vicious, or they are
Okay.
dismissed.
So they
Once they're-
decided they're not actual.
Once they're declared, there's the county code that they have to come to compliance with.
Okay, so,
And then we oversee the compliance.
but as far as. It would have to go by the person to a civil hearing, or to a civil judge, then I should give damage done. Because
As far
going as far as the county, when they're not actual judges, they can determine. An administrative hearing is not exactly constitutional.
So that here, the way I understand the hearing officer, the procedure for the administrative hearing officers is written into the codes and the laws for the state. So that's how that works. So it's written into the procedure for that.
Okay,
So we submit and whoever's asking for the hearing submits all the evidence and paperwork and all that kind of stuff, goes through this process. If they're declared dangerous or vicious, then we oversee everything after that. Any animal that comes into that we bring in, say for quarantine, that is then goes through the hearing process, we keep the animal with us until the end of everything. It doesn't leave our custody once we have it. It doesn't leave our custody until they come into compliance or not. So. And if once they're declared either dangerous or vicious, if they do not come into compliance, once they've been declared, the only option is euthanasia after that. So so if the dog is declared and they can't come into compliance with county codes, they have to determine that the dog is
you have to go on. Or do you-
potentially, yes.
Susan, could you use the microphone? They can't hear you online.
Oh, okay,
I'm not sure if it's because of the direction you're speaking, because this is
okay.
just for other comments.
Could you hear the end of it? Like she already answered my question.
I couldn't really hear the last things that you were saying. I heard the answers to the questions, and for the people online, all of the questions that were asked were answered. If you need any other clarity, please let me know.
I asked about administrative hearings. I asked about. What else did you explain? I wanted to know if there was an actual judge within the administrative hearings, but it's not, it's the county manager.
Yeah, and.
it's not the county manager, they're handled through the.
Okay,
Just through their office, and if your dog is declared and you want to appeal the decision, then it goes to a judge after that.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right,
Well,
well,
thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, and keep in mind, along with the fire danger, when it comes to the fire danger out here, think about your animals too. So you don't have to come to our evacuation centers. All right, thank you so much.
You said somebody was online too?
Yeah, they're online. They were just saying that they weren't able to hear.
Okay.
What
Did
was
they have
going
any
on?
questions directly that they were looking at?
Does anybody online have anything that they would like to say? They're not raising their hand.
Well, in that case, is there any other public comment anyone would like to share?
Oh, goodness. Joy Amble, Horizon Hills. So I think we talked about air pollution. And the last one is Horizon Hills subdivision would be significantly boxed in by high profile warehouses, eliminating the desirable purpose of being in a country housing neighborhood. These are some of the reasons we moved into the North Valley, to stay away from being in an industrial area which has disgusting and dangerous impacts on our family neighborhood and our country way of life. These plots of lands are both archaeological sites of indigenous peoples at the Springs and a ghost town, Colville, which at one time was 5,000 people strong in Nevada history. Again, we're asking for a no vote to make any more housing zone properties into commercial properties, even within the Cold Springs area, especially on the other side of the highway. Because that's a beautiful area, and I have personally seen out on those mountains, so I know they're there. Thank you.
Thank you.
This, your whole thing will be online for us to read again, and will this be coming, I'm gonna ask my county commissioner, will this be coming up for a vote at the county commission?
It's
Meeting?
it was, and now they're putting it out longer. So we're just getting our feet in any door that will listen.
Okay,
And the, was it the zoning planning commission? We have to be there for the zone planning commission to make sure that they understand that we don't want that zone changed to commercial
right.
development. Leave it houses.
So I would like to get your contact information, and maybe we can get more people. I can do it after.
It's on that paper.
And then for what she read is very important, and I'd like to have a copy of that so I could spread it around to other citizens.
Yeah.
And then maybe we
Yeah,
can
and
come together and
yeah, the developers have told us that they've investigated sewage and water and all that, and the reality is they looked at it, they didn't investigate it, so
and which developers are they?
what's the name of it? So we got, yeah, we
We
got.
can get that.
Yeah.
And
So,
maybe have a follow-up meeting.
Yes.
So this land we're speaking of, it was annexed by the
Yes.
city of-
Is this public comment or is this?
General,
We can't, yeah, if it's general public comment, we can't comment back to them. All we can do is take their comments. We can't have a discussion because it's not agendized.
You can still make your comment.
Art,
Still make your comment.
yeah,
We're talking about it.
I was stand out there and get my number.
With that, so they can.
So the land we're speaking
Your
of,
name is?
80 plus, oh, my name is Don Anhold, resident of Horizon Hills. The land we're speaking of was annexed by the city of Reno in 2008. And so the developer is going through the city of Reno, but it will affect everybody in the North Valleys. We did go to the Ward 4 meeting a couple of weeks ago, and it was very lively crowd there voicing our opposition. The developers were there, and they did have an open house the previous evening for the Horizon Hills people and anybody else that was there. It was pretty, there was a lot of opposition against development up in that area. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And we also need to get back to the neighborhood hub. Item 8 on the agenda. You just skipped over to 10.
Do you want me to come back?
Either way, if we want, we can go ahead and finish 10 if you'd like, and then go back to 8 and 9.
I'm Heidi Sober, I'm vice chair of the Sun Valley CAB. And I just wanted to say on my people. The last meeting I was at a couple of months ago, there was one lady here and me. And you didn't have a quorum. And it was so disappointing because you had a really great speaker about the park situations. So I just wanted to say thank you for you guys being here and for you guys to hope you come back.
So I missed an item agenda. It's like neighborhood development hub and other engagement opportunities.
Go ahead and share my screen real quick. To show you how to get to the neighborhood development hub. So I normally go to connect with your commissioners screen. And then this shows you, this is all your commissioners. Here's how you can get a hold of each of them. You can click on their emails or their phone numbers. And then right in here is where you can see they have the Citizen Advisory Board there. But if you come down here to the hub, and actually go into there. And this shows you all of the upcoming projects that are under, internet's a little slow, but this is the upcoming projects. If what you're looking for and you know it's there and it's part of the county, not necessarily part of the city, but part of the county, and it's already gone through and it's been approved and they're working on it. If you want to know what they're doing, you click on where it says the Washoe County applications page. And then you can come over here to whatever district, which will go to District 5, and this will show you the applications. And it gives you a list of the applications, who is doing what and where it's at, and when the last meeting was held, or if there's a tentative here, there's July 3rd, they're having a hearing, a tentative hearing with the Board of Adjustment. This one's in with the Planning Commission on July 1st, Planning Commission on July 1st. And it just tells you where the next thing and where to go to get the information. Then you can also, if you would like it delivered to your email box, let's go ahead and go back. Come back to here, and then you can sign up to get whatever you would like. But our internet's having some issues getting this up there. Let's go back. So it's to sign up to receive district news or other topics. If you want to speak up for one of the Board of County Commission meetings, you can go to this Speak Up portal here, just click on there and it'll have the, so you can make your comments and it will be delivered to them via email. Okay. That's it for the hub.
Does anyone have any questions about that? Okay.
Okay, and then if the board members have items that they'd like for future meetings.
Possibly, yeah. So I'm actually curious. Scott Finley for the record, for the next meeting agenda, I would like to see us talk about possibly moving the meetings, like this CAB meeting, to different locations. Possible sites within the area, whether that's the North Valley's library back there or somewhere else that would be better for the community. So
We'll take that under advisement. I did speak with Susan earlier and we were going to double check with the North Valley's library to see if we can go back there. However, at this point, this is the only place that I've been able to get to because of needing access to the Wi-Fi and what have you.
okay.
Okay, but we'll take a look at it.
Well, if anyone doesn't have anything to add.
Can I say?
Yes, that'd be great.
Susan Van Ness with the record. Our commissioner, do you have anything that you want to tell us? Anything coming up, anything that we should know? I think you've got the inside scoop on everything and would be nice for you to lay some of it out for it.
Actually, I don't think it's meeting. Part of the advisory. And the advisory board. Yes, I am still yelling. Okay, so I'll start over again. I come to these meetings to hear what you folks have to say, and I listen very, very well to what you've said. I know the trauma and the worrying and all the madness that you feel
about what they're doing. And this is happening all over our county. And for 10 years, I've been trying very hard to stop things, and I've managed to stop a few and straighten out a few others, and I went to Washington DC to get help for the valley when it flooded, all those sort of things. But I'm here at this meeting, and I have 4 other CAPs that I visit on a regular basis. And I don't know where I was at one meeting that you guys came and I wasn't here. It must have been something going on that I had to be at, but I try to go to all of them because I want to hear what you have to say, because you are the advisory. You create the questions and I listen. And that I work from that. And you can call me anytime. Absolutely anytime. And my number's not the county number. I'll speak it out. I have a few cards. So if you want my card, ask me. I'll just put a stack of them on the table every evening. So anyhow. But that's my thing. I've been on a cab since the 70s when this all started. Cabs came about by a legislation at the state level. And there's specific rules and regulations, and it's very well spelled out for us. And there's people that in government that don't want to have us have cabs. They would prefer we were silent, but I'm one of those noisy ones. And I was not very smart, but I ran for office, so now I'm in the listening seat. So I don't know if that explained kind of why I come and sit, because I'm there for that purpose. And like I said, since the 70s, I haven't missed too many cab meetings. That's a lot of years. Yeah. Thank you.
Further details of your adjourned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say one more? Yeah, I'm sorry, Heidi Soper again, that's all. Vice Chair of the Sun Valley Cast, with what Commissioner Herman said. June 17th, 10 a.m., Board of County Commission chambers. They are voting on changes to the master plan kind of thing for the cabs. We need everybody there. Go online, go and read the agenda so that you can go down to where we are scheduled and read what they're going to vote on. And if you have something to say, please say. Because some of the changes that they want to make aren't real. So June 17th, 10 o'clock, 9th Street, County Commissioner Building. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, if there's nothing else to add, I call for adjournment.
A second.
Yes. Adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. I found that. You were a good friend with mom. Okay.